Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you in another video. All right, so Memphis Grizzlies, Los Angeles Lakers tonight, 7 o'clock. What used to be called the Staples Center, now known as Crypto.com Arena. And the Memphis Grizzlies are coming in on an 11-game winning streak. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They haven't lost in a very long time. Before the turn of the year, to be exact. I think they lost on like the 27th or something. They lost to, who was it? I don't remember who they lost. It was Boston they played. They had lost to them, and then I think they lost to, like, God knows who it was. I don't know. And then didn't lose at all after that. They played San Antonio twice in one of those weird back games. Destroyed them. Beat the Charlotte Hornets real bad. Had a close game against Cleveland in this last one. But all in all, it was one of those situations where they were able to overcome a bad shooting night from their guys to ultimately win that game anyway at the buzzer off of a tip-in from Steven Adams, who's rebounding the ball just at an immaculate level. Here's the thing about this Memphis Grizzlies team. They're playing the best defense in the game right now. No one's playing better defense in the NBA right now than the Memphis Grizzlies. Since Jaren Jackson has come back, they've went from the worst defense to the best defense. According to Kenny for real, as I was paying attention to what he was saying yesterday, I was like, yes, he's giving me pointers that I can give to others. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. But in real talk, real life, this is what it is. We're running into the best defensive team in America right now, and Jaren Jackson has turned them around completely by himself, blocking just a unfathomable amount of shots during this 11-game winning streak. One game he had 6, another game he had 4, another game he had 6, another game he had 4. It's one of those type of things. He's blocking the heck out of the basketball, and Steven Adams is rebounding it next to him, and it just makes for an impossible front court situation. And you consider the fact they're bringing in a guy like Brandon Clark off the bench who can do some of those same things. It just becomes a real devastating situation going up against their front court. Then you got to deal with Dylan Brooks, who's playing defense at a very, very high level right now. He had a huge stop in that previous game against Cleveland. So you got to deal with him on that side of the ball. He does find himself being extremely aggressive on the offensive end, a lot of times to the team's detriment, if I'm being real. But he makes up for it on the defensive end. He makes up for it driving at the rim. He makes layups really, really, really well, and he gets to the line a lot. So Dylan Brooks is a player he's going to make up for a lot of the brick shots by doing so much other things on the team to help him. But that's what it is. I want us to turn him into a shooter tonight. That's your best chance. You want him going 4 for 17, 4 for 18. That's how you get the Memphis Grizzlies to come back down to earth. John Morant is John Morant. You're not stopping him. Don't fool yourself. If he does what he's supposed to do, it's going to be a special night for him. Just telling us right now, we ain't got a soul that should be able to slow him down other than Patrick Beverly, who should be able to annoy him but not really do nothing with him. John Morant has had games in this situation where he's had 17 assists. In this 11-game winning streak, he's had games where he went for 30. He had games where he didn't play and they still won. They're winning in whatever way they need to, man. It doesn't matter who they're running out there. They're just better than everybody right now. They literally are. The only person that's missing from their team at the moment is Zaire Williams, who's actually day-to-day, so he may actually play. So they are a fully healthy basketball squad. They got young players on the back of their bench that I honestly don't know that well. And this is our first time seeing this team this season. So I got a lot of learning to do about the Memphis Grizzlies, to be honest with you. They got some names. David Roddy, Jack LaRavia. I don't know these guys like that. I'm not going to lie, because I didn't do homework on some of the rookies that I would have normally done earlier in the season. And so this is one of those situations where I'm going to get a chance to learn these players. There's a couple of guys. Aldana, I think his name is Zoe Aldana. We have to take him very seriously. He had a very good start to the season, shooting the ball like crazy. He is capable. In fact, he's somebody I want the Lakers to target. Because of the way he was playing to start the season, the role he was in is no longer available on that team. We have that role. So he's somebody we need to be targeting. But these are the type of things I'm looking at in regards to the Memphis Grizzlies. You got to look at Tyus Jones, who's a high-level point guard. He's playing on the bench of their team, who can do great things if Ja doesn't play. He's very capable of giving them double-digit points and assists in the same game, no problem. He's a very high-level player that just doesn't have a starting spot. You know what I mean? It's that simple. He could start for if he was traded to the Clippers right now, he'd be a very good starting point guard for them. Truth be told. But it's one of those situations where for now he's just in a winning situation with the Memphis Grizzlies where he's asked to back up John Morant, and the minutes come pretty sparingly, I guess, in comparison to what you would expect from a player who's capable of doing what he does. And since he got there as an underdeveloped player who was a role player and has developed since into a very good player, you've actually never seen him in the role that I'm describing. I think he'd be very good in if you were to give him a starting spot with the Clippers or something like that. He would be able to show you that he's really a starting point guard. It's just that, he was in Minnesota before that, playing behind a bunch of guys, kind of just looked at as a role player, wasn't really all that. Got to Memphis and then started really showing out and developed into a hell of a player there. So that's somebody I expect to have a very big night if he gets the minutes. Especially if we happen to get lucky and get Ja in foul trouble. He's going to be somebody they turn to give them a lot. And it just goes on and on, man. Offensive rebound is everything against the Memphis Grizzlies. Offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, any rebounding. You have to put your biggest players on the floor and hope to God that you have some success, because that's what we're dealing with tonight in regards to the Lakers. We don't have the personnel to push them out of our paint. We just don't have it. Thomas Bryant, without Anthony Davis, we don't have the personnel. We're going to need Thomas Bryant to play better than he ever has before defensively. And we're going to have him understand that, it's going to be a tough night going up against Jaren Jackson. It's going to be real tough. You thought he had a hard time going up against Alperen Sengun? He ain't had nothing like what he going to be going up against this guy here. So it's just tough, man. I think the Lakers are in firm position to see some really bad basketball tonight. Our fans are, to be honest with you, because if we do what we're prone to do, and the way that we've been coaching lately with some of these rotations since Patrick Beverley's come back, he wants to run small ball and all that. If you do that against this team, this could be a very bad blowout for the Lakers. It could be a very bad blowout because this team plays defense. They score like crazy, just like everybody else. And they just have players that can attack us in ways that we can't defend just naturally. So if for some reason we try to, even go even further into the small ball stuff like our coach has been prone to do, putting certain lineups on the floor, there will be no success. There will be no success. It's not even about, the Lakers can fight hard. No, you ain't going to fight hard. You're going to lose. You're going to lose bad because that's the type of personnel they got. So this is that type of night. This is a scheduled loss, basically, another one. In my mind, I just don't think the Lakers match up with this team in any way. Anyway, and you talk about, look, from top to bottom, every matchup is bad, except for LeBron James against God knows whoever they want to put on him. And if they decide to put Jaren Jackson on him, it's going to be a long night for Bron too. So, it's, they got guys like I said, Brandon Clark they can throw on him. These guys, this is going to be a tough night for the Lakers. And it doesn't help that our injury report hasn't changed. Austin Reeves still out. Lonnie Walker's still out. Anthony's working his way back, as we know. But it's going to take guys stepping outside of themselves completely. And our coach complying with what works, which is not something we're expecting at this point, for us to even be competitive in this basketball game, in my humble opinion. It's going to be hard, man. Because Ja Morant's going to look to go for 40s. And he's coming to L.A. He's going to be playing on the Laker floor. You know damn well he's going to try to do his best reverse dunk or spin move dunk. It's happening. That's happening. Jaren Jackson's going to shoot the three as well. It's not just offensive play. He's getting boards. He's laying the ball up. He's dunking the ball. He's shooting mid-range jumpers. He's basically playing the best ball anybody's playing anywhere right now, to be honest with you. If you're talking about Jaren Jackson. I don't know that you don't call him the defensive player of the year at this point, given what they've done these last 11 games and how he's turned the entire defense around just by being there in the way that he's played. I'm not sure he's not the defensive player of the year. So, Anthony Davis ain't ready yet. This is one of them games where you're like, man, this is why we can't rely on him. Because you're going to have games like this where you cannot win if he ain't there. You just cannot. And it's because you have him on tab at so much of an amount. That's the thing. He's making what? $200 million? Something like that. So you don't have no backup for him when you got Russell Westbrook and LeBron James on the other side. That's what I'm saying. It's not about whether or not the Lakers can come out and fight hard. They don't have the bodies. They're not there. Troy Brown going to have to turn to Paul George tonight. Patrick Beverley going to have to lock Ja Morant down, and Ja Morant's going to have to comply by just being a little slower and a little less athletic than he naturally is. He just got to be worse tonight. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. We need guys to dumb it down. Steven Adams, we can't have him going for 18 and 20 rebounds tonight. But you know what I expect? Him to go for about 18 to 20 rebounds tonight. That's a fact. That's exactly what I expect. So there ain't going to be nobody there to stop him from doing so. Wenyen Gabriel's going to be pushed out there to do a lot tonight. And he's been playing so well, he's definitely somebody we're going to need to play way better than he's ever played in his life. It's that kind of matchup because he's going to have to overcome the best defense coming at him, and then he's going to have to defend players who are just better than him, period. That's what we're asking to win you tonight. Be great. But it's even then, it's like, as I sit here and I assess my team and I think about what gives us the best chance to win, I look at Darvin Ham and I'm like, I know you ain't about to do none of that, are you? None of it. You're going to line up Patrick Beverly, Dennis Schroeder. You're going to put Russell Westbrook on the floor. You're going to put LeBron James on the floor, and you're probably going to give him Wenyen Gabriel. You're going to send him out there to get slaughtered. That's exactly what he's going to do. That's exactly what he's going to do. What he needs to do is play Thomas Bryant, Wenyen Gabriel, LeBron James, Troy Brown, and possibly Patrick Beverly, put the ball in LeBron's hands, and then sub in out of Patrick Beverly's situation with Max Christie. And if I had any control of the situation, Scottie Pippen, who went for 28 points and, 10 assists in the last game for South Bay? Just like I told y'all, he'd go for a lot of scoring and a lot of assists. I think some people thought I was exaggerating when I said he would go for double-digit assists. And no, it's what he's doing. It's what the Lakers are allowing him to sit in the G League and do with the type of upside that he actually has. While we sit here and struggle with Patrick Beverly and Dennis Schroeder going 1 for 35 or whatever it is on the last couple weeks. Exaggerating, of course, but it's the point. They're not productive. We leaned on them, too, in the last game for them to brick a bunch of shots in the very opposite way to strategize against the best offensive team in the league. So if it's opposites day, then I expect him to line up, Patrick Beverly against Jaren Jackson and have him switch off to him so he can jump and shoot over him, just like we had in the last game. And the game before that. Small ball is going to help you lose in about 7 or 8 different ways. It's going to help you lose. And the Lakers think it can help them do something different. I guess they expect the opposite result, but that's all it does. It leaves you open to get rebound over, get shot over, have to overcompensate fouls. You know what I mean? That's what happened in the last game. We sent them to the line too much because we're constantly reaching, constantly trying to reposition ourselves because we're too small to actually defend them. This is what it forces you to do. It sends them to the line. It gets you in foul trouble because you're definitely going to foul because you're too small. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It does so much bad. No good, because if you're not able to shoot, then small ball does nothing for you. You're trying to, dunk on people bigger than you? How does that work? You're teardropping all day? If you can't shoot the three, what the hell does giving yourself a size disadvantage actually do for you in any way? And we're non-shooters. So it's like, this is how to lose. I mean, if you're trying to strategize a way to throw basketball games, you just do what Darvin's doing. Simply put, do what he did against Dallas, do what he did last time against Sacramento, and you will get the result that you're looking for. So if he doesn't do what it is that I said in regards to playing size against this Memphis Grizzlies team, this game ain't even worth watching. It's not. It's not worth watching, truthfully. The only way this even becomes remotely a basketball game if the referees lean it in our favor. If they call a bunch of fouls for the Memphis Grizzlies that aren't there, you know what I'm saying? Seriously. It's the only way you can manage this game to make it make sense. You're gonna have to fix it. Straight up. That's how big of a mismatch this should be on paper. Sorry, Bron. Sorry, Westbrook. Y'all don't make the difference up. Not with this team constructed in this way. Y'all just some guys out there who can put up a lot of stats against a bunch of people who are going to beat you. And that, my friends, as a Laker fan, ain't good. I don't care to watch that. I don't care if it's 300 points away from Kareem or not. I don't care. Watch this. And I'm going to tell everybody who watches me that I don't care to watch this either. I will watch it because I'm dedicated to what I do. But if I didn't do this, I would do something else. Because I don't have any interest in watching Jaren Jackson block 8 shots tonight. I don't have any interest in watching Ja Morant jump over my team and seeing all their fans chanting in our building like we had Sacramento's fans chanting "Light the beam" in our building in the last game. I don't desire to see that. So that's what the Lakers need to understand. Fans not only getting tired, but we're getting to a point where it's less about being tired and more about just understanding that this is a waste of our time. When they go out there and don't give themselves the best opportunity to strategize properly against teams. You know what I mean? It's a waste of our time. If you line us up properly out there, then it's worth watching because we can give ourselves a chance to overachieve. You know what I'm saying? If you send us those big lineup out there, like I said, and play them the good 35 minutes or whatever you have to, get Max Christie in there properly, they're not going to say, okay, we lost by 15, 20 points, but at least our guys got better. We didn't let them get 70 rebounds and 70 points in the paint on us. We can walk out of here saying, all right, we can build from here. At least our guys got better. You put Patrick Beverly, Dennis Schroeder on the floor. You played them 30 minutes tonight against Jaren Jackson and Brandon Clark. And nobody's getting better, man. I'm just getting more and more frustrated. That's it. So that's what I'm poised to see. The irritated side of me is just very pessimistic about what Darvin Ham is going to do, because I haven't believed in just about anything I've seen lately, and it's leading us to losses. So that's what I come to expect. You know, if it's a close game, they're gonna find a way to lose it, especially against a team like this. They ain't beating them. So that's what I'm telling everybody. Don't put any money on this, man. And if the Lakers happen to win, maybe LeBron went for 70 or something. But 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be because something went wrong with the referees. The Lakers were able to stay in the game because the refs gave us all the calls, which never happens, by the way. Not for us. So that's the only way I see us competing in this game. I think we should sit Bron. I think we should sit everybody who might have any remote injury and send out our very, very worst players out there for a scheduled loss. Just like y'all did in the, what game was that? The Denver game when y'all should have competed because we had just beat Denver with those same players? Nah, this was the game you should have scheduled that for. You ain't got no shot of beating these guys. Lakers do what Lakers do, man. I hear they sent Cole Swider down to the G League. Last time I said that, they had called him back up the same day, so who knows? I don't know. Whatever. But the point is, no influx of talent has come our way as we continue to pile on losses. More people are talking about what the Lakers need to do versus what it is they're not doing, and we're seeing nothing happen. Not as much as calling Jay Huff up, which is something I've been asking him to do. But it is what it is, man. We just sit here and wait for the Memphis Grizzlies to come into town. Hopefully they'll take us lightly. The one thing I can say is I already have said they did shoot poorly against Cleveland, so I think they're poised to lose. You know what I mean? You can start seeing the production start to slow down as the winning streak continues to strengthen. That's where they're at. They're at a space where they shot 40-something% from the field and like 30-something from the three last game. They're ready to lose. Question is, are we going to be the team to be able to take it to them, or are we going to give them that second wind that they could probably use a blowout in getting from us that'll snap them out of that? See what I'm saying? Just like I said about Sacramento, are we just another part of their weak schedule, or are we going to be a team that has to give them a little resistance? Chances are, we're just a weak part of their schedule. So that's where we're at, man. Super pessimistic. The Lakers have created this. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm sitting up here just naturally pessimistic. No, I'm a really confident Laker fan who loves to compete, and I think we have a roster that can compete. But as long as we have somebody at the top, at the helm, who's just putting players on the floor in weird ways and just sending them out there to lose, and then guys are jacking up three-point shots down the stretch of basketball games because they don't believe in what they're doing, what the heck am I going to sit up here and do 100 hours of homework on the Memphis Grizzlies just for them to go out there and run small ball against them and get just blown out? No, that's not what we do here. We're going to tell the truth. So I expect the Lakers to get blown out tonight. I expect John Morant to go for about 30, 35 points. Jaren Jackson get like 7, 8 blocks. Steven Adams get like 20 rebounds. That's how they've been playing. That's how they've been playing. So, Dylan Brooks is who I'm looking at. Please, shoot a lot. Shoot a lot, Dylan, because that's the best chance the Lakers got. If he's going 4 for 30, 4 for 17 or whatever, that's when we know we have some way in. Other than that, they're just going to be rebounding and shooting over us all night long. It would be great if somehow Thomas Bryant could step back into his old self. Maybe Dennis Schroeder had several games where he was balling out before he disappeared again. Maybe if they can tap into that, somehow we can get enough production. But Russell Westbrook's been playing great. I don't mention him enough, but he's been doing so many different things. I'm just kind of trying to avoid talking about Russell Westbrook if you really want to know the truth. Why I haven't mentioned Russell? Because I don't really want to talk about Russell. It's a very, very confusing thing trying to figure out how best to assess him. Because on one hand, I don't want to trade him because it's not in my best interest to do so. On the other hand, I don't think I can win with him. I don't think I can win anything big, anything meaningful with him. I don't. I feel like KD at this point after a year and a half. It don't mean I ain't been happy with him. See, that's why I don't really like talking about him, because it don't mean I ain't been happy with him. I've actually been inspired by what he's doing. I've been proud of what he's doing. I've been encouraged by what he's doing. I just know that it ain't good enough yet for him to get us where we need to go and be who he needs to be to get us over the top. He's still engaging in some of the same stuff that he's working through. It's to our very detriment, complete detriment. And we can't win because of it. So, like in a perfect world, we could trade him. Boom, trade him for stuff we need, move on. But the reality is, if it takes 2 picks to trade him, we're going to have to go down with the ship with Russell Westbrook. Because I ain't willing to give away 2 picks just to get rid of a problem for this season when the season has more than one problem. No, we can do that. So that's why I don't really like talking about Russell at this point. If he plays well, I'll be excited to send praises his way. You know what I'm saying? He's been helping us in a lot of areas. But if he does more bad stuff, it ain't going to be too much good to say other than, God, I wish we could get rid of this dude. So, that's it. That is literally it. Hopefully we can get some good stuff out of him tonight. I don't know if Bron will play. I think Bron will play. I don't know. I don't know. You know, he's dealing with the ankle at all times. So it's just about whether or not he wants to go. If it were me, pride would want to send me out there. But science would probably tell me to sit this one out. Yeah, I think you should sit it out. You don't want him banging up against Jaren Jackson all night long. That's a bad look. You're going to take weeks off of that man's season having him bang with that kid tonight. I'm telling you. Just sit him out. Just sit him. Come up with a fake injury. You got my support. Sit out. It's for your health. Jaren Jackson, Steven Adams. It's the last thing I want Bron to have to do. With no AD out there, it's the last thing I want Bron doing. Honestly. No. Knock on wood for any bad energy whatsoever, but this is the game I don't want him playing in at all. Simply put. So that's all I got to say, man. I wish I had positive thinking, but I don't give y'all the fake, man. I'm not a rah-rah fan. I'm going to give you exactly what I have in me. If it's good, it's good. If it's not so, it's going to be this. And then, you know, we'll give you the organic reaction to whatever happens. I love being wrong. I'm definitely rooting for the Lakers to win, but I'm telling everybody who follows me, do not put a single quarter on this basketball game for the Lakers. Don't do it. Don't bet on this game. Video 44. Thank you all for watching.